Think about the physical sensation of unlocking your smartphone right now. Your thumb hits the glass, the screen lights up, and you immediately face a choice between two exhausting spaces: sterile, clinical self-improvement trackers, or a loud, chaotic vortex of social feeds where you perform for thousands of strangers. If you stop swiping and look at that screen, you realize there is a massive void. We have no digital living room, no quiet, dedicated architecture built strictly to hold space for the actual relationships in our lives. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar found a biological reason for why this constant connection feels so draining. By studying the size of the human neocortex, the brain's center for complex thought, he discovered a hard cognitive limit. Humans can only actively maintain roughly 150 stable social relationships before our brains simply run out of processing power. The modern epidemic of digital burnout is the inevitable result of defying that biology. We are forcing a human brain to maintain infinite, flattened connections it was never designed to hold. This is DunbarrioSolo. It operates in an uncharted space between a private diary and a social network, built entirely around deliberate human constraints. The platform enforces a rigid boundary. Users organize their contacts into a maximum of 16 tiers, capping out at exactly 144 people. That number is engineered to sit comfortably inside Dunbar's cognitive limit. Imposing a strict mathematical ceiling strips away the noise. It forces users to turn a sprawling, meaningless contact list into a highly intentional, bounded sanctuary. To see how this system forces a closer look at an existing network, let's follow a specific user named Marcus. This screen shows Marcus's active circles. Instead of an infinite feed of faces, he maps his life into discrete, highly stratified groups with distinct names like family, home slices, and work brain trust vibe. This loading screen displays the musical solfège sequence, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. When Marcus boots the system, the app treats the organization of his relationships like tuning an instrument rather than simple data entry. Organizing relationships requires deliberate friction, forcing users to meticulously assign the people in their lives to specific emotional frequencies makes invisible relational boundaries tangible. The core action inside these boundaries is the embrace, a private, directed journal entry. Here, Marcus is writing a specific, vulnerable anniversary message to his partner, Jane. This interface features a glowing Plutchik mood dial as the mandatory first step. Marcus must select a specific primary state, like anticipation. This trains emotional granularity, the psychological skill of making precise distinctions between feelings so your brain can process them accurately. Below the text is the Energizer slider. Efficiency is purposefully removed. Marcus must physically hold his gum on the glass, linking physical engagement to emotional processing. Pushed past 88%, the meter peaks to pure white, signifying the emotion has reached maximal intensity. This interface design physically forces users to pause, measure, and bear witness to the exact weight of their own feelings. There is a massive structural catch to this entire process. Jane never receives this text message. The entry remains strictly private on Marcus's device. Instead, the emotional weight is absorbed by an animated AI mascot representing Jane. Psychoanalyst Donald Winnicott called these transitional objects, a safe grounding wire that bridges internal anxiety and external reality. The AI operates under incredibly strict guardrails. It receives the emotion and acknowledges it, but it is explicitly forbidden from offering advice, fixing problems, or providing false validation. Utilizing AI as a constrained, private proxy creates a completely safe holding environment. Users can process highly volatile relationships without risking real-world collateral damage. Zooming out from daily entries, this screen shows a 12-week activity heatmap. It takes the visual language of a developer's contribution graph and applies it directly to human care, tracking both emotional writing and real-world actions over time. Every Monday, the app generates the weekly weave. This is a totally private, locally processed AI synthesis that analyzes the user's emotional patterns and energy distribution from the previous 7 days. Looking at this specific text block from Marcus's weekly weave, We see the AI using computational linguistics to pinpoint a specific, invisible gap. It notices his sister Lina's upcoming birthday and gently points out a lack of entries directed toward her. Human beings have terrible memories for their own relational investments. The platform acts as a gentle, unflinching mirror, confronting users with the reality of where their energy actually flows. This software provides the missing prerequisite for relationship health, the simple, daily practice of showing up for the people you already have. Genuine intimacy requires deliberate boundaries. It requires accepting our biological limitations. Connection thrives when we stop trying to maintain an infinite scale and make the quiet, deliberate choice